Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is BJMP3033. Number mature is 262218. I will present about the part 1 of the section 1, Overview Food Industry in Malaysia. Malaysia has been recognized as the 23rd most productive country in terms of manufacturing in the world. And food industry of Malaysia has contributed to the Malaysian economy as well as being a part of major manufacturing industry. The major sectors are made of condiments, canned fruits, canned vegetables, dairy products, and also the ice cream. The Malaysian food industry contributes about 10.6% to the GDP of Malaysia, and there are about 169,000 of the company registered under the food industry of Malaysia. Malaysia have supplied the food to almost 200 countries, which is ASEAN country and the United States being the top export markets. Main player of food industry. Main player in the food industry in Malaysia have been companies such as Nestle, Pepsi and Unilever. Carlsberg and Coca-Cola company are also known as the main player as they already established themselves as an expert in the food and beverage industry of Malaysia. Malaysia also has popular local F&B companies such as SCC Food Manufacturing, SCS Food Manufacturing, and M Food Manufacturing Sedia Berhad. Main player of food industry also driven by small and medium-sized business as well as international corporations.
My name is Nariwarda binti Rahmat, metric number 264420. Today I would like to explain about my part, which is challenges in food and beverages industry. Firstly, we have limited shelf life. Limited shelf life is the main challenges in food and beverages industry, which shelf life is a amount of time that is remain and safe and acceptable for use in specific storage circumstances after it has been manufactured and packed. It is almost impossible to successfully track the shelf life of all ingredients to eliminate waste and optimize management costs. So, we use inventory management software to investigate the shelf life for all ingredients and automatically remind production management when the product packaging approaching its expiration date. This ensures that the production, marketing, and sales process can be simplified so that the product is always in a good condition and reducing waste and the need for disposal. Next, we have transportation, also one of the challenges in food and beverages industry. As we know, transportation is infrastructure as connect cities and accommodates human activities, coupling the social, economic, and environmental system with the urbanization and population growth. In order to reduce management costs, time, and labor costs, companies may consider arranging inventory transportation so that they can be shipped at one time and or even provide customers with discount. For example, if it takes a week for a product to be shipped overseas, retransport, shelf, and finally sold, the shelf life of the product may not be optimized. Compared to the traditional truck and dry truck, the capacity is significantly smaller and the price is usually increased. And lastly, we have strict federal regulation. Compliance with strict federal regulation for food and ingredients, traceability remains one of the most consistent challenges in the food and beverages industry. In a regulatory audit or recall event, food and beverages manufacturers and distributors must develop plans to track damaged ingredients and products and control the potential impact. Usually, this means that the only course of action is to destroy good product with bad product because the company lack the tracking technology needed to identify damaged product throughout the supply chain. Thank you.
Hello, My name is BJMP3033 with metric number 2622153. I would like to talk about inventory management practices in the food industry. So based on previous research, state that small and medium-sized enterprise in the food industry use the EOQ approach. The food industry in Malaysia use the simplest approaches such as barcode identification and vendor managed inventory (VMI). So next is the production and inventory strategy in the food industry. The food industry has implemented just-in-time (JIT) focused on the market pull, which enables the organization to react to shifting market demand. The next one is inventory forecasting strategy also being used in the food industry. Due to the extremely increased complexity and enormous amount of foods, inventory managing is difficult, so organization must forecast the number of input goods in advance to make inventory management easier. So the last one is a combination of make to order and make to stock production and inventory strategy used in the food industry. The last one is the collaboration program in food industry is vendor managed inventory (VMI). VMI through technological advance, strategic alignment, tailor-made replenishing logic, communication, and network usage is defined by developing a strategic collaboration with imperative supplier. So that's all for me.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Anissa Shikin binti Kamaruddin. My matrix number is 26294C. I will continue my part, which is 2.2 inventory management control and policy. The techniques used to maximize a company inventory use are referred to as inventory control. Company inventory management policy governs how inventory is managed. After that is inventory control dimension, which have three parts. Firstly is inventory location, then is sourcing policy, and lastly is inventory ownership. Inventory location is the physical location where your inventory will be kept, or known as inventory location. There could be on-site location such as office and warehouse, or off-site location including such your contract manufacturer or finished good distributors. Product distribution from the manufacturing plant to the warehouse and finally to retailers is critical when optimizing the supply chain network. As a result, choosing the best warehouse site in the supply chain network has become a strategic decision for senior management. The location of a warehouse has an impact of supply chain considerations such as lot sizing and scheduling. Sourcing policy. Food supplies that must be stored in separately controlled food warehouse necessitate the use of professional 3PLs that are familiar with the physical and regulatory requirement. Third-party logistics, which is the use of the third-party organization to outsource portion of a firm distribution and order fulfillment service, can help the food industry distribute their product more successfully. Shipper can use different strategies for aligning transportation lanes with production, consolidating load sharing networks, utilizing facilities, and procuring last mile delivery to improve service to retail sales points by leveraging EPL's bundle solution, which include a warehouse network and deep experience across many transportation modes. EPL will be used in the food business for end-user forecasting. This will encourage them to partner with other producers and adopt load consolidation measures, which will ultimately benefit everyone and clients. Lastly is inventory ownership. When you reach your reorder point, good software can automate buy orders for easy inventory receiving and batch tracking to prevent waste and maximize your working capital for long-term business growth. A very well inventory management software can also assist your food sector in meeting inventory KPIs, shortening lead times and allowing you to focus on the front end of your restaurant and food industry rather than the back end. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, saya Noifah Amanina binti Adnan, metric number 261357. I will talk about the information related dimension. First is about demand visibility. What is demand visibility? Demand visibility is a section that share information to all stakeholders and customers. Demand visibility is an important component in demand supply network. Within the food industry, Walmart will share their daily sales information to reduce inventory and make development of inventory control strategy through the key suppliers. Also within food industry, US food retailers implement new methods to obtain and delivery information known as collaborative, which involve retailers to share their information or data to the manufacturers. Next, access to information. To convey information in food industry, we can use digital and technology such as great application to give information about foods. Due to the various customer demand in foods, the use of SKU or stock keeping unit is very effective in food industry. SKU is a type of barcodes that every information about the product can be found easily. And last, IT configuration. The food industry use an operating system such as point of sale that is ordering through mobile system. Online ordering through an application or website will facilitate both the merchant and the customer. Example of company involved in food industry is KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut and so forth.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Yasmin Suraya binti Rozaini, matrix number 269676. So next, I will explain about decision making related dimension, which consists of three parts. First is replenishment, monitoring and ordering in food industry. Second, control limit of inventory in food industry. And third, replenishment and shipment decision in food industry. So, what basically decision making process is? Decision making process is crucial in supply chain management. If an organization does not have an applicable and effective decision making, it can cause a small issue that can turn into such much large problem. So it's more important for every industry to have a better decision making process, especially in competitive industry like food industry. So first is replenishment, monitoring and ordering in food industry. Inventory replenishment is a restoration of a stock or a supply to a former level or condition. A key component of effective management in food industry is inventory monitoring control. In food industry, there are some people in the management who are responsible in monitor a stock level of inventory, which is inventory manager and warehouse employee. They have a number of responsibility where they require a daily monitoring and evaluation for the stock to keep the stock always at the optimum level. They will ensure that the industry has enough stock to produce goods or to fulfill the demand. So how they work? The inventory manager will ask their warehouse employee teams to note out the product that they need or reorder from supplier. Once they has list up all the product that they need, they will proceed order for the next month. It depends of the food industry management, how many safety stock that they want to have, the lot size for each purchases and the lead time of ordering. So the next part in decision making is a control limit of inventory in food industry. So, control limit of inventory is one of important things in control the number of stock. The control chart has two parts of control limit, which is lower control limit and upper control limit. In food industry, they usually use a statistical process control (SPC), where is one of the method to monitor and control the process of production in order to meet the specification that already set by industry. SPC also can help to ensure the product safety, and by using SPC, it can help quality control team to monitor regular observation routines, detect any problems, prioritize corrective and proactive action. The chart at SPC also usually will show the upper and lower control limit and to monitor the key parameters so that the produce of product will stay within a limit, so there will be no issue for overstocking and understocking. In terms of quality control in food industry, usually they use a hazard analysis and critical control points, which is a global standard set by the authorities in food industry. So next we will move to the replenishment and the shipment decision in food industry. The shipment decision is made depend on the type of business. As for the food industry, after going through manufacturing process and the inspection, the food that come in processed or unprocessed food will be ready for shipment, need a special handling. So the decision of the shipment was made by the manufacturer, supplier and retailer of the executive committee in the management before they sell to the end of customer. Before the shipment of the product being made, they need to consider about the transportation, information of network, packaging, distribution system, time of shipment and location. In food industry, the supplier need to ensure the storage capacity to store the goods that will be shipped in the good condition, especially for the types of food that need to keep in the freezer in order to maintain their freshness and the quality. The integrated communication also plays a vital role to make the shipment planning successful. They also need to aware about the time of shipment, as the time might change depending on the weather or any unavoidable circumstance that might occur along the way of shipment. So, the person that in charge in shipment decision need to carry out their responsibility properly in order to make the shipment successful.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Noatia Izzati binti Zainabidin. My number entry is 275798. So now we proceed to the pro and cons of inventory management practices in food industry. Now we discuss about pro of inventory management practices in food industry. First point is inventory management practices may interface with supply chain participants and provide real-time access to product information. This increases the visibility of specific shipments and helps them to follow when there are problems. There are a large number of the data supply that give insight on security, transport and overview concerns. They may also have a better balance their stocks by finding the correct solution for stock management. If they have a stock surplus, there is that it will disappear and be wasted. However, they are at danger at lose clients and wholesalers if they cannot complete the order if they don't have enough food. Inventory management can track the past and predict future demand for items supplied. Okay, now we move to the second point. Allow them to plan their warehouse. The practices will assist them to assess where specific goods should be positioned depending on the movement of specific food items, including temperature-regulated goods. This implies that they may enter the truck faster with popular and high perishable commodities with an accessible rack. Keeping track on the inventory is a crucial element of operating an effective store for beverages. A continually shifting market might be the beverage industry. Okay, now we move to the third point. Precise tracking can help they prepare and recognize low stocks. The advantages of managing their beverage inventory efficiently are infinite. It is also useful not only to know the levels of tangible stocks but also for financial considerations. They can discover where and how their stock dollars or ringgit are used with efficient inventory management. They may also analyze the cash worth of the shares that is beneficial for the purpose of accounting and budgeting. Okay, now we move to the fourth point, which is online inventory management offers a broad range of solutions to automate the inventory process. Online inventory management software may make tracking of the supply of beverages easier. Online inventory management offers a broad range of solutions to automate the inventory process. For example, beverages may be traced from the moment they enter the warehouse until the moment they reach the customer's hands by utilizing barcodes and barcode scanners. In the online inventory management system, everything with the beverages is recorded electronically. It can detect where the inventory is lacking and delivers updated inventory levels in real time. When they have stable menus and order comparable beverages consistently, online inventory management solution perform effectively. The first startup period is necessary when information must be input into the system for every product, so that it takes longer to input information about everyday product when their items are continually changed. Automated methods are thus more advantageous for large companies. Other possibilities may make more sense at smaller and boutique shops that consistently modify the variety of drinks. Okay, the last one is a smart inventory management solution enhances the efficiency of sourcing, manufacturing, distribution, and sales by using automation power. Process managers have no trustworthy and exact manual to execute FIFO, which is first in and first out inventory policy, without the capacity to track, trace, and account the stock from source to sale. In particular, food manufacturers must guarantee that waste loss is either completely avoided or kept within the lowest possible margin as a result of waste. This is accomplished in such a manner that commodities which are most sensitive to waste are used first to create inventory flow from purchases and storage. The customizable aspect of inventory software is an impact asset for the company. Now we discuss about cons of inventory management practices in food industry. First point is ability to calculate and control the expiry dates is essential. Effective inventory control in every organization is tough, but notably in the food and beverages business because of variables such limited product life requirements for food safety and management of complicated recipe control. Due to the limited shelf life of food and beverages items, the ability to calculate and control the expiry dates is essential. It is crucial for personnel to know when to consume a product or the contents of the product. Besides the evident issues of overstorage and waste, the food and beverage inventory is also prepared to be cross-contaminated. Cross-contamination has attracted a lot of attention, and the foods handled, packed top, and kept close to allergens are a regular source of product recall in recent years, with more consumers claiming allergies to particular foods. Now, we move to the second point, which is its infrastructure adds a layer of bureaucracy to the whole process and the enterprise in general. Although stock management enables employees at all levels of the enterprise to read and control the inventory of the enterprises and their products, its infrastructure adds a layer of bureaucracy to the whole process and the enterprise in general. If stock control is in place in-house, this includes the number of new contracts for warehouse control and transactions which are not present. In this situation, when inventory management comes from a third party, the cost is a subscription charge and depends on the administration of its infrastructures by another firm. Regardless of their choice, this means increased overhead costs and more management levels between the owner and the client. Now we move to the third point, which is increasing the infrastructure may frequently lead to reduced personal interaction to help a firm distinguish itself from others. A lack of personal touch is another downside of inventory management. Large supply chain management systems provide global access to products and generally offer customer service support in trouble, while increasing the infrastructure may frequently lead to reduce personal interaction to help a firm distinguish itself from others. For example, a small manufacturer that provides local plumbers supplies can toss washers into an extra package at no price to the client with the alarm. That is done in order to maintain relationships with the consumer and frequently makes the consumer feel unique. While it is possible to supply free stuff in inventory management, processing time and paperwork make the item more a customer task or even a click. Now we move to the fourth point, which is manufacturing difficulties can also hide that might lead to customer service disaster. While the inventory management can tell them how much goods they have at hand and how much they sold, manufacturing difficulties can also hide that might lead to a customer service disaster because the management concentrates nearly entirely on inventory management. The damage or erroneous or error of the product, generally rejected, together with healthy things, are transported. Now, the last point is have to purchase racks for storage of their products, chariots, and of course workers surrounding the stock. To store it, they will need room, so that they will need a warehouse to keep it unless their items are very small. Furthermore, they also have to purchase racks for storage of their products, chariots, and of course workers surrounding the stock. Any items might still be the optimal level of inventory for a company, and more operating costs would be necessary for the management of the inventory in some instances. In turn, this will raise costs and adverse effects on the earnings of the company. They may be relatively complex and difficult for employees to grasp some inventory management methods and techniques. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Nur Musyakila binti Nawawi, matric number 262016. I explain about recommendation and conclusion. Recommendation. First, quality labels and insurance are relevant and have an impact on the stage of the business cycle. Second, the combination of elements of expectation that satisfy international and local criteria needs to be accomplished and set as target for the expansion of commercial performance in the industry. Lastly, creation of halal quality products by integrating halal standard and other quality standards would help halal food products on demand not only on the domestic product but also on international market. Lastly, conclusion. This attention on the food and beverage sector offers new perspective into the various positions of the industry, including the industry's contribution to addressing changing market needs and adapting to shifting public policy. Lastly, this study leads to a more complete view of the food environment by reflecting on the food and beverage sector.